In this video we will summarize movie series entitled The Raid 1 and The Raid 2 release on 2011. Spoiler ahead, watch out, and take care. The film begins with showing a man named Rama, who has just entered the police force. Here, Rama is preparing for his first assignment, which is to catch the mafia. The next morning, Rama said goodbye to his father and wife who were seen 7 months pregnant. Even though it's hard to leave his wife, Rama must still go to carry out his duties. Then we are shown with a police force that is on its way. This troop is led by Sergeant Jaka. There you can see Rama, Bo-O, Doug and several other members. In the car, Sergeant Jaka gave directions to his troops, that the place they would ambush this time, was where the A-class mafia would not hesitate to brutally kill them. Elsewhere, we are shown a mafia boss named Tama. Tama has been the target of the police all this time. Tama looks not alone, he is with his confidant, Mad Dog. A loyal person, and willing to die for his boss. One more person named Andy. Andy is the brains of the illicit business that Tama has been running all this time. Here Tama is executing people who have betrayed him. He killed those people with a gun, but when he wanted to kill the last person, Tama ran out of bullets. And sadistically, Tama immediately killed that person using a hammer. Long story short, they have arrived in front of the mafia headquarters hiding. Before going inside, Sergeant Jaka met with Lieutenant Wahyu who had been waiting for him for a long time. Lieutenant Wahyu looks very angry with Lieutenant Jaka, because the troops he brought were still new and inexperienced at all. But Sergeant Jaka trusted his men. Jaka then divided his troops into 2 groups where the first group was led by Sergeant Jaka and followed by Lieutenants Wahyu and Bo-O. While the second team, led by Rama and Doug. Arriving in front of the apartment, they reunited and executed Tama's men who were on guard outside the building. Then, in front of the entrance, they all accidentally met a man named Gofar. But from his attitude, Gofar doesn't seem like Tama's subordinate, but a good person who can't get out of the building. At first Bo-O was seen arguing with Gofar, but Rama decided to free Gofar. After that they entered the apartment and caught some of Tama's men. Until they reached the 5th floor, they met a small child who was there. Look at the police force in front of him. The boy immediately ran away, but Lieutenant Wahyu shot him straight away. Unfortunately, it turned out that there were other children who saw the shooting incident. Because of Lieutenant Jaka's carelessness. Now their arrival is known by Tama after the boy had pressed the intruder alarm. On the other hand, Tama is seen stalking them through CCTV that has been installed in all corners of the building. Knowing that, Tama immediately ordered his men to deal with the uninvited guest. Quickly, Tama's men immediately shot the policemen who were on guard under the building and near the apartment window.
Stop.
Along with it, one of the police officers was killed with a machete by someone he was holding. 2 members waiting in the car also died after being shot by Tama's men. Tama also mobilized all of his men so that they would not hesitate to kill all the policemen. Then, we are shown with Sergeant Jaka's troops who are on the 6th floor. At the same time above them there are already several Tama's men who are ready to shoot at them. Until finally they all shot each other, causing casualties on both sides. Because the number of enemies was increasing, Sergeant Jaka ordered his troops to retreat and enter one of the rooms. But it made them besieged from the outside. Quickly Rama smashed the floor of the room to make a hole. When the floor was exposed, Sergeant Jaka immediately jumped down. But it turns out that there are already some of Tama's men who immediately beat Jaka. Seeing Sergeant Jaka being attacked, Rama and other members immediately went down and helped Jaka. Not long after, appeared again some people who tried to break down the door. When Rama was holding them, suddenly Bo-O was shot from below. Now they are surrounded again. With a state of urgency, Rama took a gas cylinder and put it in the refrigerator. Rama brings the refrigerator to the door and puts a grenade in it. The gas cylinder exploded, killing Tama's men. Due to the effects of the explosion, Rama was also blown away. After awakening, Sergeant Jaka told Rama to go take Bo-O to a safer place, namely Gofar's room. Along with it, Tama tells Mad Dog and Andy to come down and kill the remaining cops. Andy chooses to go alone, although in the end Andy is followed by Tama's 2 men. But when in the elevator, Andy killed his 2 men. Back to Rama, who was suddenly blocked by Tama's men, and the battle scene was unavoidable. And finally Rama managed to kill them all, and quickly entered the room occupied by Gofar. They both hide behind the wall. However, Tama's men enter and immediately inspected the room. One of them tried to stab his knife into the wall several times. At first Rama and Bowo looked panicked when the knife hit Rama's cheek, but fortunately Rama immediately wiped the blood, which made them not know where they were both hiding. After all safe, the 2 of them came out of hiding and immediately treated Bowo's wound, which was starting to get worse. Fortunately Bowo survived and rested in Gofar's room. After that Rama went to complete his mission and look for his friend who was still alive. But when walking, one of Tama's men saw it, and immediately chased Tama until it was a dead end. Because there was no other choice, Rama finally decided to fight those people. Hearing the enemy's footsteps coming more and more, Rama immediately jumped from the building. Well, because of that incident, Rama looked exhausted, but when he was about to leave, Andy suddenly pulled him. But here there is no fight. Instead, we will be told that in fact, Andy and Rama are brothers who have not seen each other for a long time. Rama plans to invite Andy to go home. But Andy refuses, because their father will be disappointed if he finds out that Andy's work is like this. At the same time, when Jaka was about to leave, Mad Dog suddenly beat him. Before the fight scene starts, Jaka told Dig to go after Lieutenant Wahyu. Jaka, who lost weapons to Mad Dog, was told to enter a room. But instead of shooting Jaka, Mad Dog actually invites Jaka to fight with his bare hands. In that battle, Mad Dog's fighting skills and stamina far surpassed Jaka's, thus making Jaka have to die at Mad Dog's hands. Elsewhere, Andy tells Rama to follow him if the situation is safe. There Andy saw Mad Dog dragging Jaka's body to be brought to Tama. When you get to the top, Tama immediately stabbed Andy's hand after learning of Andy's behavior for helping Rama. When Rama was walking, suddenly Dig told him to come in. And now there are only 4 police left, including Bowo, who is in Gofar's room. Rama plans to immediately catch Tama, who is on the 12th floor, to get out of that place. But on the way to the top they have to fight again in the room for making drugs. After defeating them all, Andy continued to go upstairs. However, on the way, Rama saw Andy being tortured in one of the rooms. Ram comes to the room. Meanwhile, Lieutenants Wahyu and Doug went to the 12th floor to catch Tama. Seeing Rama enter, Mad Dog tells Rama to free Andy. Now they both have to fight Mad Dog. Even though it's 2-on-1, Mad Dog's stamina is very strong, and in fact Mad Dog is the last king to be fought in this film. Even though Mad Dog continued to slam, he was still able to get back up. Until a little while longer Rama can be killed by Mad Dog. Luckily Andy came and stuck the shard of Mad Dog's neck lamp. But it turns out that the stab has not worked to beat Mad Dog. Until finally they both issued their last strength and were able to defeat Mad Dog. Finally, on the 12th floor, Lieutenants Wahyu and Dig managed to find Tama, but for no reason, Lieutenant Wahyu immediately shot Dig. Here we will find out the real identity of Lieutenant Wahyu. It turned out that before, Lieutenant Wahyu had received the same mission as now. However, Lieutenant Wahyu received a bribe from Tama and become a police traitor. Then Lieutenant Wahyu told Tama to take him out of the building. When Lieutenant Wahyu saw Rama who was about to ascend. Luckily the shot missed. Rama asks the condition of Doug, who turns out to have been killed by Lieutenant Wahyu. This made Rama very angry. Until finally, Lieutenant Wahyu shoots Tama after knowing that after this, Wahyu will be hunted by another mafia named Reza. Not quite there. Wahyu also decided to commit suicide by pointing a gun at his neck. But when it comes to pulling the trigger, turns out the bullets were gone. In the end, Wahyu must be arrested by Rama and must be held accountable for all his actions. At the end of this the raid first, we will be shown Lieutenant Wahyu brought by Rama, Bo-O, and Andy. But in the middle of the trip, Andy decided to turn back. A few months after deciding to part with Rama, now Andy has been caught and will be executed by a gangster leader named Beho. Andy was executed because in the raid Andy had betrayed Tama. Then we are shown to Rama who is being offered to join by a man named Bunawar. Bunawar is a police commander who is looking for evidence about who the police officers are working with the mafia. Here Rama is persuaded to join and carry out the mission. At first Rama refused because he had seen the cruelty of Bunawar who shot Wahyu. But after knowing that his brother had been killed by Beho, Rama finally accepted the offer. In his plan, Bunawar ordered Rama to go to prison, so he could be close to the son of a gangster boss who controlled the Jakarta area. Rama was also told to change his name to Yuda. But on his first day as a new prisoner, for no definite reason, Yuda was suddenly attacked by several prisoners who were there. Well, because of the commotion earlier, Yuda was offered to join by someone named Yusiak. Yusiak is Yuda's main target, as well as the son of the biggest mafia boss named Bangun. But so that his identity would not be immediately exposed, Yuda initially refused Yusiak's invitation. Until one day, when the prisoners were gathering in the field, Yuda saw that there was a little oddity in that place. Yusiak is suddenly attacked and wants to be killed by his own men. But Yuda tries to stop him, and a fight scene occurs. In the middle of the fight, Yusiak who was fighting was almost stabbed. But luckily Yuda quickly helped him. And this is where Yusiak feels indebted to Yuda. Two years after that, when Yuda was released from prison, he was immediately picked up by Yusiak and would introduce Yuda to his father. Elsewhere we will see Yusiak's father, Bangun, who is in a meeting with a Japanese yakuza named Goto. Not long after, Yusiak and Yuda arrived there. Yuda was immediately greeted warmly by Bangun and his trusted subordinate named Ika. However, before officially joining, Yuda was told to be naked, so that his clothes could be checked. Fortunately, Yuda had already disposed of his wiretapping device, before he got out of prison earlier. And finally Yuda was accepted into the member. The next day, Yusiak, Ika and Yuda went to an adult film-making site, to collect security money. When Topan gives deposit money, Yusiak refused, because Yusiak had found out that Topan had sold drugs beyond his knowledge. And Yusiak asked for more money to protect the drug business. But from a different side, Topan men took out a shotgun. Yuda who saw this immediately stopped him and the fight scene started again. Yuta was easily able to defeat them all, including Toppan also died at the hands of Yuta. Arriving at the headquarters, Yusiak was praised by his father for being able to complete his mission well. However, Yusiak wanted his father's position to be given to him immediately. In fact, Bangun initially planned to give the position another 10 years to Yusiak. Well, from here the start of the dispute will soon occur. Long story short, we will be shown with Yuta and Yusiak who are in a karaoke place. Because Yusiak looked still annoyed, he also vented his frustration to the women who were there. Not long after, someone called Yusiak. Seeing Yusiak coming out, Yuta quickly put a sound tapping device into Yusiak's wallet. Elsewhere, Bangun is meeting with his best subordinate named Prakoso. Prakoso is a hitman who has been a regular for Bangun for a long time. The reason Bangun met Prakoso was to kill those who disobeyed him. Of course Prakoso was able to complete the task very easily. The next day, Yusiak was seen meeting with Beiho to discuss a business. In that conversation, Beiho wanted an area controlled by Goto. Meanwhile, Yusiak asked Beiho for help to help him get the throne of his father's leadership. Then to ensure the cooperation, Beiho gave gifts in the form of several prisoners who had tried to kill Yusiak in prison. Without pity, Yusiak immediately killed those people. After that, we will see Prakoso who is being attacked by gangsters, and it turns out that these people are Beiho's subordinates. At first, Prakoso easily defeated all of these people, before finally being killed by Beiho's mainstay, Assassin. From a distance, Yusiak saw the incident. Well, it turns out that all of this was Yusiak's plan to pit Bangun and Goto against each other. After that, Yusiak went straight to his father and told his father to give up the Goto clan, because he had killed Prakoso who had been instrumental to his father. However, Bangun did not immediately make a decision, so that there would be no war with the Goto clan. Due to his father's refusal, Yusiak's plan didn't go well in the end and Yusiak had to change his strategy. Then Beiho took out Assassin, Hummer Girl and Baseballman to kill important people in Goto's advertisement. With ease, the three of them were able to kill important people in Goto's advertisement. On the other hand, Yuta, who was in a taxi, was suddenly attacked by a group of people. And here we will again see the action of Yuta. With his martial arts skills, Yuta was finally able to survive the incident. Because important people have been killed in Goto's ads. Finally Bangun and Goto had a meeting. In the conversation, Yusiak had intervened and said he did not want to make peace with Goto. But Yusiak's words were denied by his father, and Bangun apologized for what had happened. Arriving at the base, Bangun immediately beat Yusiak. Because of his son's behavior, it almost made both sides go to war. When Ika told Bangun to stop beating Yusiak, suddenly Beiho and his men came. Seeing Beiho's arrival, Yusiak immediately pointed a gun and shot his father. Seeing this, Ika immediately took out a gun, but Ika lost quickly to Yusiak, so Ika was shot too. When Beiho wanted to kill Ika, Yuta suddenly came and told Ika to leave. But here, Yuta lost, and fainted from fighting the assassin. After that Beiho ordered his men to take Yuta's body to a rice field, to kill Yuta there. On the way, Ika tries to save Yuta even though he has to be blocked by some of Beiho's men. On the other hand, Yuta, who had awakened, immediately fought and killed all of Beiho's men in the car. When everyone was killed, Yuta quickly jumped into Ika's car which was right behind him. After that they both went to an old building. And here we will find out if Ika is actually a member of the police force ordered by Bunawar as a spy. From the start, Ika actually knew Yuta's identity as a spy. But unfortunately Yuta had to be trapped and could not get out of the gang. Because Ika's condition was severe, Yuta told her to rest there, while Yuta himself continued his mission to find Beiho. Long story short, when he arrived at Beiho's headquarters, without further ado, Yuta immediately attacked all of Beiho's men. On the top floor, we will be shown with Beiho, Yusiak and Reza who are eating. Reza is another person that Yuta has targeted from the start. Well, from that conversation, Yusiak begins to realize that Beiho was the one who targeted him when he was imprisoned. Knowing Yuta's arrival, Beiho immediately lowered his 3 reliable men. The fight begins with Yuta who has to face Hummer Girl and Baseballman. After defeating them both, now Yuta will face off again, with the strongest subordinate, the assassin. In the midst of the fight, Yuta was made into trouble, because the assassin took out his reliable weapon. But with difficulty, finally Yuta managed to defeat and kill the assassin. After that, Yuta immediately went upstairs to meet Reza and Beiho. Seeing Yuta's arrival, Beiho immediately took a shotgun and threw it at Reza, but Yusiak immediately caught the shotgun and shot Reza in the head. Beiho, who was too focused on targeting Yuta, without realizing it, shot him from behind. Because now Yusiak has realized that Beiho is only using him. After killing Beiho, now Yusiak is after Yuta who is behind sofa. But again because of his prowess, Yuta was able to stab Yusiak to death. And now finally the 2 gangsters have really been killed by Yuta. After thinking all the missions have been completed. When Yuta was about to leave that place, he has been awaited by Casey, the son of Goto. But instead of fighting Yuta, it turns out that Casey aims to invite Yuta to join the Goto clan. Even this film ends with Yuta answering. Thank you for those of you who have watched to the end. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. See you in the next video.